So you're thinking of moving to Kansas City and the surrounding areas like Lenexa, Kansas, but you want to know the pros and the cons, the good and the bad before moving to Lenexa. Well, in this video, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, because I'm actually in downtown Lenexa, and Lenexa is one of the top cities in all of Kansas to live in. And you know, we spend a lot of time in Lenexa, meeting friends, eating at the restaurants. One of my favorite barbecue restaurants is actually in Lenexa, called Jack Stacks. Our church is here, called Westside Family Church. So, you know, there's a lot of pros to Lenexa, Kansas, but there's also some cons. And so you'll want to stick on to the very end. That way you can kind of weigh out both, you know, the pros and the cons, the good and the bad of Lenexa before you make that decision to move here. And so anyways, we're going to get after it right now. So if this is your first time on our channel and you want to know everything there is about moving to and living in Kansas City and the surrounding areas like Lenexa, Kansas, then make sure that you subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so that you can be the very first to know about the current market here in Lenexa. Hello, my name is Jimmy Ezell. My wife Nikki and I are part of the Living in Kansas City team, and we get phone calls, text messages, and emails every single day from people just like you and you and you. And so whether you're going to move in 7 days or 7 months, make sure that you reach out to us. All of our contact information is in the description box below. We'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to Lenexa, Kansas, or any of the surrounding areas here in Kansas City. But before we dive into you know, the pros and cons, I want to just kind of show you a little bit of the historic part of Lenexa. I'm actually in the old town Lenexa, and the reason why I wanted to start here is because we have another video of the bustling, growing part of Lenexa that you definitely don't want to miss out on. And so you can see all around here are these older buildings, right? And actually, I stopped, didn't want to record it, but there's actually a train coming through here because this is actually where it all started for Lenexa. And one of the things that you'll find out is that any bustling town has to start somewhere. And so you've got these buildings. Some of these buildings are over 100 years old. You know, you can kind of see some of these here. I'll show them to you. Try to do the best I can here. Let's see here. So Lenexa's story really begins back in 1869 when a man named James Butler Hickok, known as Wild Bill Hickok, actually purchased about 160 acres of land right here. But around that same time, Dr. Renner bought a large plot nearby and opened up the first post office. This actually laid the foundation for what eventually would become the city of Lenexa. The city was officially incorporated in 1907, and this downtown area actually became really the big hub, the center of activity. You can kind of see, like I said, some of these buildings are like over 100 years old. And then of course we've got new buildings being over there, like you can see the American Family. Very, you know, it all started out as a small agricultural community. And then of course the Kansas Pacific Railroad was right there, and it connected this area to many parts of the country. And over several decades, Lenexa grew slowly. It had that small town charm and feel. And then, you know, what ended up happening, of course, is that it just continued to grow. So even though Lenexa started out as a quiet rural town, its location near Kansas City set the stage for some big changes. The city really began to transform in the 1950s and 1960s as more people started moving out of the city and into the suburbs like Lenexa. And Lenexa became a very popular choice for families, you know, looking for more of a peaceful suburban area, the ability to move outside of Kansas City. And so that's why I wanted to start here, because in another video, I want to show you where the real hustle and bustle of Lenexa is. And so, you know, this kind of just gives you an idea, a little bit of the history of Lenexa, how it all started. I love this part. Actually, you see that Sincerely Susan, and then the coffee and chocolate. Let's take you over here so you guys can see it a little bit more. Busy here today. So one of the great things about Lenexa is how it has been able to manage to keep its historical roots while also embracing like the whole modern growth of this city. You can see right here, once again, of downtown Lenexa, where all the buildings, you know, some of these have been here since 1900s, but now, like this is one of our favorite ice cream places, Pop's Sweet Shop, really good ice cream. Make sure you come check this out. And let's see if you guys, make sure you guys get that right there. There you go. And then of course, as I continue to walk through a little bit here, you know, Lenexa is now one of the fastest growing cities in all of Johnson County. And as you watch some other videos and learn more about the city, I'm gonna tell you right now, you'll love the schools, you'll love the neighborhoods, you'll love the ability to feel safe in the neighborhoods as well. So Lenexa now has a population of about 58,000 residents, and that number continues to grow. The median home price here is around $342,000, which is a little higher than the average for Kansas, but it's still very affordable when you consider all of the amenities that Lenexa has to offer to its residents. Plus, the median household for Lenexa is about $110,000, which is way above the national average. Just shows you that Lenexa is a great place to live, but also a very prosperous city. And so just once again, a great place with all the neighborhoods, the family feel, the small town feel. It's still just a great place to live. So Lenexa also prides itself in all the parks and the green spaces, like the beautiful Black Hoof Park and Lake Lenexa, where you can actually hike, fish, and really just enjoy nature. And don't forget about the bustling city center, a newer area filled with restaurants, businesses, and community gathering spaces for events. I'll actually do a video on that, so make sure you look for that in one of our other videos. With all that, once again, I wanted just to kick off before we get into the pros and cons of Lenexa, really this downtown area, and then make sure that you find our other video, the vlog tour, as well as the map tour of Lenexa, so that way you can learn even more about Lenexa. And with that, let's jump into the pros and cons. We'll start with the cons first. And that way you guys can really learn about Lenexa, and if that's going to be the place that you eventually land and go buy a home, or eventually maybe even sell a home. But wanted to give you guys a little bit of a tour of historic Lenexa, Kansas, right? With that, let's jump into the pros and cons. We'll get after it right now. Okay, let's talk about the pros and cons of living in Lenexa, Kansas, and we'll start off with the first con. The first con is the higher cost of housing. Let's kick some things off by talking about one of the biggest factors for anyone moving to a new area. That is housing. Lenexa is more expensive than many of the other parts of Kansas when it comes to buying an existing home. The median home price around here is $698,500, which is more than double the state average. This can make it very difficult for first-time home buyers or anyone on a tight budget to find affordable housing. But there's more to consider. While the prices are higher, Lenexa offers quality homes in well-maintained neighborhoods, and so make sure to go check out our neighborhood vlog tour as well, where I show you what a 400,000, 600,000, and even 900,000 home looks like, and what their neighborhoods look like as well. So you're paying for access to great amenities, parks, schools, a stable real estate market, and the housing prices reflect the high demand for living in a place like Lenexa. So while the initial sticker shock might seem steep, many people find the long-term benefits worth it. Still, it's important to budget carefully and ensure Lenexa's housing market aligns with your financial goals. While it may be pricier than other parts of Kansas, for many, the quality of life here justifies the cost. So that is our first con. Our next con is that you're going to be car dependent. So let's talk a little bit about this. The Lenexa, the transportation system there, if you're moving there, it's very important to understand that you're going to it's a very car dependent city. Public transportation options are very limited, which means most residents really, they rely heavily on their cars to get around. Lenexa doesn't have a comprehensive public transit system like some of the larger metropolitan areas. If you're coming from a big city, there are a few bus routes, but they aren't very extensive, and most people will need a car just for their daily commuting, errands, and getting around. Now, the lack of robust public transportation can add to your cost of living, fuel, maintenance, car insurance, all being necessary expenses that come with owning a car. And so just make sure that you plan for that. On the plus side, Lenexa's layout is pretty car friendly with lots of parking available, wide streets, relatively easy access to get to major highways, and so you'll need a car to get around, and it's not a very difficult city to navigate around. Our next con is going to be the limited nightlife in Lenexa. Now, if you're someone who loves a vibrant nightlife scene, Lenexa might feel a little too quiet for you. While the city has some nice restaurants and a few bars, the Lenexa City Center, it's definitely not really known for its late night entertainment. Lenexa is more of a family-friendly suburban community, so most of your nightlife options are pretty low-key. I mean, you'll find some local pubs pubs, breweries, and nice dining options. But if you're looking for more of a dynamic nightlife with clubs, live music, or events, you'll probably be heading into Kansas City. That said, for those of you who prefer a quieter night out or a cozy dinner, Lenexa still has some great spots to offer. We have some of our favorite restaurants in Lenexa: Jack Stack's Barbecue, Red Door, Silo, Sierra Grill, and Sushi Unu, just to name a few. And so just know, like I said, that the nightlife might not be happening as much, but if it's important to you, just keep in mind that Lenexa might feel a bit subdued. But if you enjoy a quieter evening with family and friends, it could be, the perfect fit. One of the things though, just keep in mind, even though it doesn't have a vibrant nightlife, you still have the Lenexa City Center. As a matter of fact, on Friday nights, man, the area gets packed out down there with like local bands. It's a lot of fun. And so, there's things like that happening. But for that, club scene or really late nightlife scene, you definitely probably have to head down to downtown to find those options. Our next con has to absolutely be the harsh weather here in Lenexa and actually the Kansas City area. Let's talk about the weather. Living in Lenexa means dealing with the full range of the Midwest weather, and that can be both a blessing and a curse. Summers can get hot here and very humid, with temperatures often climbing into the 90s and even hundreds, and winters can be cold and snowy. And so ladies, with the humidity in the summer, get ready for some flat hair days, and then for the winter, get ready because it comes. Summers are great for outdoor activities, but the humidity can just make it feel much warmer than the actual temperature. If you're not used to humid summers, it might take some getting used to. But there are lots of neighborhood pools and the new Sarco Park Aquatic Center. Those are all there to help you cool down. On the flip side, winters bring snowfall, icy conditions, and temperatures that drop below freezing. While it's beautiful, it also means that you're shoveling snow, slippery roads, and that you'll definitely have to bundle up. So if you love experiencing all four seasons, Lenexa's weather won't disappoint you. But if you're not a fan of the extremes, you might find the temperatures here, the temperature swings a bit tough to handle, and that would definitely be a con for people, especially if you're coming from those climates in our country or around the world that you're used to, just very steady temperatures. We definitely have our temperature swings here in Lenexa and the Kansas City area. Our last con is going to be traffic. As Lenexa continues to grow, traffic congestion is becoming more and more of an issue, especially during rush hour traffic. While it's not as bad as larger cities, you'll still need to factor this in, some extra time for your commute. If you're hitting those roads during the peak hours, you definitely want to make sure that you add some time. The highways and the streets can get very busy. Lenexa's location is really close to the metro area, so we have very easy access to the highways. But during rush hour, those highway entrances, especially like on 87th and 95th Streets where they intersect with I-35, they can get very busy. So whether you're commuting to work or running errands, just be prepared for some slowdowns, especially as you're trying to get to maybe even downtown Kansas City. Sometimes you're at a standstill on the streets. While traffic isn't a constant issue, it's definitely something you want to keep in mind if you're someone who values a quick and easy commute. But like I said, it's a con, but it's not as big of a con as in some of these major cities. We have one of the best commute times in the cities, especially for our size, with all the major highways that feed into the traffic flow of going in town, into downtown, as well as coming out of downtown. But it still is a con. All right, now let's move into the pros of Lenexa Kansas. The first one is the strong economy, and this is a big one. Lenexa's strong economy, with its unemployment rate of just 1.87% at the time of this recording, it is super low. The job market here is thriving, and if you're looking to work in healthcare, technology, retail, or education, Lenexa has plenty of those opportunities. The city's close proximity to Kansas City also expands your job options, making it a great place for professionals. Plus, Lenexa's economic growth is steady, which helps maintain job security and keeps the unemployment rate very low. So whether you're starting your career or looking to advance, the local economy provides a lot of stability. It's a great place also for people to start businesses. Lenexa's strong economy is one of the key reasons people to choose to live here. Both offers stability and opportunity, making it a great place to build your future. So that definitely is our first pro of living in Lenexa, Kansas. The next pro is going to be the high livability. People love living in Lenexa. Lenexa scores an impressive 86 out of 100 in livability rankings. Many thanks to the combination of great amenities, low crime rates, and access to everything you would need, from parks and recreation to healthcare to shopping. And so whether you're looking for, a peaceful suburban life or a quick access to the urban amenities, Lenexa offers both. It's a place where you can enjoy a family-friendly atmosphere without sacrificing, convenience. Plus, you're just a short drive from Kansas City, so you can enjoy the best of both worlds. You got the quiet suburban life with the big city right there, real close to you, and you can go access the big city anytime you want as well. Our next pro is going to be the great schools that Lenexa offers. One of the biggest draws for families to Lenexa is the great schools. The education system here is top notch, with high ratings for both public and private schools. Niche.com has the 3 top school districts that feed into Lenexa. We'll pull this graphic up for you. Unified 232 is ranked number 2. You've got Olathe ranked number 4, and then the Shawnee Mission School District ranked number 7. Then you have Holy Trinity Catholic School, Christ Preparatory, as well as St. James Academy as your private school options. And so if you're raising kids in Lenexa, having excellent schools is a huge bonus for you. Lenexa schools rank both statewide as well as nationally for academic programs, as well as their extracurricular activities. The teacher ratio in elementary schools right now is about 13-1, so that's great. This gives the teachers the opportunity to really spend more time with their kids and give attention when they have fewer students. Plus, there's a real emphasis on community and parent involvement, which means your kids are likely to receive, support that they need to succeed. And so if education is a high priority for you and your family, Lenexa offers some of the best schools in the region, making it a great place to raise your kids, make sure that they get a great education so they can, continue on in life as well. Our next pro is going to be low crime rates. Safety is always a top concern when choosing a place to live, and Lenexa excels in this area with very low crime rates compared to national and state averages. Lenexa has significantly lower crime, especially when it comes to violent crime. Lenexa's crime rates are huge, especially for families than anyone looking for peace of mind, compared to national averages. Lenexa scores much lower in terms of both violent and property crimes. This makes it one of the safer suburbs in the Kansas City metro area. Many of our friends and even my daughter and her husband and many clients feel very safe when they live in Lenexa. There's a real sense of community here, which also contributes to the overall feeling of safety. The local police are proactive and engaged, regularly working with the community to keep crime rates low. Whether you're out, out for a walk, at night, or you're with the kids playing in the park, you can feel comfortable knowing that Lenexa is a safe place to be. So safety is a top priority for anyone choosing a place to live, and Lenexa delivers. And it's a great feeling to know, you're living in a place where you don't have to worry about crime on a daily basis. And so Lenexa definitely covers that as one of the pros for it. It's very low crime rate. Our last and final pro is access to the parks and outdoor activities. Finally, let's talk about these parks and outdoor activities that Lenexa offers, because it is a haven for anyone who loves the outdoors. The city is packed with green spaces, parks, and trails, and it's perfect for everything from casual walks to more adventurous hiking and biking. One of the most popular spots is Black Hoof Park in Lake Lenexa, offering scenic views, fishing, boating, and picnic areas. It's a great place for families or anyone looking to escape the hustle and bustle. There are also miles of walking and biking trails that connect various parts of the city, making it easy to stay active and enjoy nature right in your backyard. My wife and I have been to the park, Lenexa Lake, and walked around it numerous times. With over 270 days, Lenexa makes it easy to enjoy the outdoors year-round. And so whether you're into sports, hiking, or simply lounging at the park, Lenexa's outdoor amenities add a lot of value to life here. For outdoor enthusiasts, Lenexa offers a ton of options to get outside, stay active, and enjoy the natural beauty of the area. So that does it for our pros and cons. And as you can see, there are just a few cons, but they definitely are outweighed by the pros. There is no wonder that on niche.com, Lenexa scores so high as one of the top places to live. And when we talk to our family, our friends, and our clients that move and live in Lenexa, they love it there. And if you live in Lenexa, we'd love to hear from you what you think are your pros and cons, the good and bad of living in Lenexa. Drop them in the comments so that others can see them as well. We know that moving into a new home, relocating to a new city, or selling a home, can cause some anxiety and be stressful. So we really keep that in mind when we're working with our clients so that, it can be a seamless transition. We want to help you cross that bridge into your new home or the sale of your home. So if you're looking to buy or sell in Lenexa, we'd love to help you with that. We've got a great team that has been having lots of success in getting buyers' offers accepted, as well as sellers selling their homes even faster. We utilize some strategies that others don't to benefit our buyers and sellers more, and we love seeing our clients enjoy the process with us. So whether you're moving in 7 days or 7 months, reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you make that smooth move to Lenexa, Kansas. Give us a call, send us a text, email us, or schedule a Zoom. All of our information is in the description box below. And remember this, our wish for you is that your buying or selling process is seamless so that you can focus on creating memories for yourself and your family, and that you love living in Kansas City and the suburbs like Lenexa as much as we do. Until then, we hope to see you around town.